getting it right. We only been here a couple of days, and we didn't have time to do a lot of research because you know us, we just go. We just buy a ticket and go.
On a whim.
Yeah. And we
Someone
figure it out.
invites us somewhere, and we say, "Yeah, sure, we'll be right there."
Yeah, just figure it out as we go. Yeah, everything is pretty much not spur of the moment. What's the other word? Sporadic, not sporadic.
Improvised.
No,
Not on the cuff. Off the cuff.
off the cuff. No, but the word when you just do stuff.
No.
Spontaneous.
It is.
Yeah, spontaneous. Do a lot of spontaneous travel. So anyway. And we're back for day.
Did you miss us?
Did you miss us? We missed y'all. That's why we came back to do the recap of day 8.
Right back. We can't
Right
wait.
back. Right back at y'all. All right, so day 8 now. I should be able to remember this. Hold on, let me get this. All right, so all I remember is I woke up because the alarm went off. No. Oh yeah, the birds. Oh yeah, the birds were chirping. Like it was a whole safari menagerie of animals outside. And I didn't even get eaten up, even though we're by the lake. I didn't get eaten up by mosquitoes. I did put on some insect repellent that I bought in Diani at the Carrefour, but it was a pretty sleepful night. I got a lot more sleep than normal. We woke up at about 6 or 6:30.
Mm-hmm. We woke up. The alarm went off at 6, but we were both up already because of the birds, which was fine.
Yeah.
We got up with nature, basically.
Yeah. So Augustine told us to be ready to go on the boat to meet the boat captain at 8:30 in the morning. So we're not missing no more breakfast buffets. Like never do that no more. So we always hit the breakfast buffet because, well, breakfast was included with the hotel. So we didn't want to miss breakfast. Yeah, don't leave money on the table. Literally, don't leave money on the table. So, yeah, we got to breakfast, and you see the clips here. Don't that look marvelous? Don't that look special? Don't that look so good?
Both the view and the food.
Yeah, it was such a good night.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, good day.
Mm-hmm.
I was doing stuff on the computer. She did some Tai Chi. We didn't have time to work out, so and we didn't need to work out because that hike from the day before on the Canopy walk, that was a hike. That was a workout in itself. And today, I didn't realize we were going hiking. But anyway, after we finished breakfast, and it was a marvelous breakfast again, we met the boat captain on the dock, and he was like, yeah, we're gonna go check out a couple of islands on the lake, and then we're gonna go on a hike. And I was like, oh, okay, we're gonna work out again. So he was really cool. And this is Hodari. Hodari is Rwandan, and he's a really cool guy, like young guy. He has an interesting story. Like when you hear people's backstories, you're like, you see what makes them and so resilient. Like this young man, he was born during the, his mother was pregnant with him during the genocide in 94, was it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so she was pregnant with him. I think he said that she left the Congo and he was born in Rwanda. And all her family died. So all he had was him and his mother. That's it. And so he's working for himself and his mother. But he is a good kid. He speaks. He can speak Congolese language as well as he was born in Rwanda, so he speaks that. He works with the UN as a translator for the Congolese refugees. He does a lot. This young man is busy, and so when y'all come out to Rwanda and y'all go to Lake Kivu and y'all do the boat tour, you gotta ask for my man Hodari. Here's a picture of him. And he was so cool. He like everybody's so knowledgeable, as you would expect a tour guide to be, but just everything. So long story short, we took this boat to the first island, and it was called Napoleon Island because when you see it from afar, it looks like that hat that Napoleon wore. So we got there, and he was like, so I'm gonna show y'all some monkeys. I'm gonna show y'all a paradise for cows. I'm gonna show y'all some where the bats hang out. And don't worry, they're not vampire bats. They're fruit bats, but it's paradise. And then so we started this hike on this island. And let me tell you, this country is so beautiful and amazing. Like this lake on the map, it looks small compared to the rest of everything else. Like it looks like a drop of water, but when you out there, it shows you how tiny and small we humans are. Like this lake was massive. It looked like an ocean. You can't see from one end to the other, and there's like 1,000 or 100 different little islands all on this lake. I never knew that. I never seen that. I didn't know to look. When you look at the map, you see an island, a big island in the middle, but you don't really see. I didn't see the smaller islands out there. So we got on this island. He docked the boat. We started doing a hike, and I was like, man, we're about to get a workout again, which is good because we didn't get to exercise in the morning. So the first thing we saw was like where the bats hang out, and there's these trees, and I think you wanted to tackle your fears head on, something like that, because she's definitely afraid of bats. And how did you think about the bats?
I felt more at ease when he told me that they want to get away from us, basically. So, yeah. They're not coming towards humans. They're not trying to interact with us or bite us. In fact, they sleep during the daytime because they go and search for food, right? At night, is that what you said?
Yeah, they're nocturnal.
They're nocturnal. So that because by this time it was like maybe 9 a.m., they were very much wanting to sleep. But as soon as we arrived, and because they're blind, they can smell us, they all took off. And so that was reassuring for me. I was sandwiched in between the two men, so I felt safe. I knew the bats weren't going to come for me because they just wanted to sleep, and instead they all flew away. So seeing them moving away from me helped.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I actually tackled my fear, but I feel like I did because 2 years ago in Lamu, I was I felt like my body tensed, and this time around I didn't feel my body tense. I didn't feel my joints and everything sort of like lock, and I didn't feel like I was being paralyzed by fear the same way that I had been paralyzed in Lamu by the bats 2 years ago.
Yeah, because as soon as we dock, you can just hear the bats, and
they make a very distinctive sound.
Yeah, and we were standing right underneath them, so we could see them just like they look like mice or rats with wings, and we could just see them, before some of them flew off. And it was just an amazing thing to see and experience. And then we kept walking, and he was like, you're gonna watch out for the cow poop. And I was like, how is there cow poop on an island? And how does it, I never even thought or heard of a cow climbing up anything. Like, this island is steep. Like, there's nowhere you could like just rest or just walk flat. Everything is just a big steep hill. And I'm like, why is there a cow like on a trail? It was so weird. And he was like, this is a paradise for cows because all they do is they go up and down the mountain and they just graze they just stand there and graze. And these are the healthiest looking cows I ever seen. Like, you see some tore up cows, but these were well taken care of. They were just, you know, they weren't scared, they didn't move, they didn't attack, you know, they didn't do nothing. And these were the cows with the long horns. These were like, they don't look nice, but they were, you know, they didn't do anything. So they just doing their thing. They're way at the top of the hill. Like, how, it's just weird. It's weird to see a cow on a hill. You see goats on the hill, on mountains, but not cows. But that's, I think he said that they bring them there just to graze, and they're protected species. Yeah, that's it's something. It's something like.
You would think they'd almost be too heavy, and because it's such a steep incline, but they were right at home, and there was no struggle that we could see.
Yeah, I would think like they would just fall over because they're big. They weigh like a ton, but they can balance themselves, and they ain't have no troubles. They was just eating. So we didn't. Okay, so then we went all the way to the top. So we hiked all the way to the top of this mountain, and we made it to the top, and we took a few pictures and photos and videos, as y'all probably seen some reels, and y'all probably seen on the vlog, but we gonna put some right here. And yeah, we went back down because he was gonna take us to see the cows actually swimming in the lake. Ain't that weird? Like, who's heard of that? I never heard of cows being able to swim, much less being able to walk up a steep mountain, much less a cow island. It was just a weird day. I was like, none of this stuff I've ever heard of in life, and if I never came here, I would never heard of it. I would never known about it. So we were supposed to go to another island to see monkeys, island a monkey inhabited entirely by monkeys. We were supposed to see cows swimming, but he offered us this other part of the tour. Well, it was his own tour. He was like, I can take you to this market to where there's Congolese coming in to buy goods and livestock and just like all kinds of stuff. And there's some refugees there, and they trade with Rwandese. Back to the market. So he drove us in the boat to this island that was inhabited by monkeys. And as soon as we pulled up, there was an alpha male monkey just sitting there. He's like the lookout. So he like warns the other monkeys if there's fear. And that was interesting. He explained this whole thing to us. And so the monkey like got on the boat, checked us out, walked around, like, there's no food here. They don't seem like they predators. They don't seem like any danger whatsoever. So he got off the boat and he went back to his post. And you can see the blue balls on the monkey. Gives a whole new meaning to the blue balls. So anyway, we left that island and we went to the market. And actually, this was her idea because she was like, you know what? Let's go check out the market. And I was like, okay, let's go. So we get to the other island where the market is going on, and we see all these fishing boats, and then we see these people, and she's standing at the front of the boat like, hi, bonjour. I don't know what she was saying, but I guess she could hear the French, and then her French start coming out, so she's like waving and like, bonjour. I don't know what she was saying. She was like, hello. It was like she was a star, like being driven in, like he's guiding the boat, and she's at the very top of the boat, like just standing there like. And I'm like, oh God.
Because they were all looking at us, because we were all very obviously foreigners, it was just a way to like break the ice, and it was a greeting. It was just a hello. That's all it was. It was because we had cameras pointing,
She
right?
was
And
saying more than hello.
we were coming with a tour guide, and probably they don't see a lot of tourists coming in to sort of view this interaction and this transaction that takes place only once a week. It's every Friday apparently. And so it was just to reassure them that, you know,
We're not a threat.
Yeah.
And we're just
That's
coming
all
to.
it was.
We're not coming to do anything. We're not coming to exploit. We're just coming to check it out. And
because they all had eyes on us, right? Because they
Yeah.
saw us pulling up, and so when everyone's staring at you, to me, it makes sense to kind of like break the ice a little bit and say hello. It's something that I do even in New York City, when I find that the best way to also like de-escalate things is just to, when eyes are locked and people aren't sure, you know, what the objective is to smile, be warm, and say hello. That's all that was.
They thought we were stars. They thought we was famous.
Thought that.
They thought we were
I
famous.
don't think so.
Which we are, because everybody watches our YouTube channel. We have 100 million subscribers. I'm putting that in the universe, so everybody just subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Hit the bell so you get notified of all the new content. All right, that's a spiel. So yeah, we got off, and I asked Hodari, I said, we can record, right? We can film. He was like, yeah, sure, like no problem. Like, he's a translator. So, you know, we got off the boat, and you know, they were waving, we waved back. It was cool, you know, we got off, and like I said, when I got the Alkali Yogi with me, you know, all eyes on her, and it just like, people's guard goes down automatically. So
that's what it was. It was to bring people's guards down.
Yeah,
It's
but you know,
not for any other reason.
I'm not one who automatically thinks people's guards are up. So I always like, I take you as normal until you prove otherwise.
See, I grew up in an African household, so to me, I feel like their thinking is not, that's a Western way of thinking.
I'm from the West.
Right, exactly. And although I am too, because my parents and the rest of my family is not, I kind of get that mentality, and that's why I don't take it for granted that when they look at us, they're like, what are you here for? What is your reason for being here?
Well,
and if they can communicate with you, they'll actually say that. Why are you here? So,
yeah, I mean, you know, there's black people all over the world, basically. You go to a new hood, you know, same thing. But anyway, we got off the boat and we walked around. There's a lot of stuff going on. All the guys went to her. I don't know what happened. I'm just walking around. You can take the rest because I was invisible this whole time. Me and Hodadi just started walking around.
You know, I think they just, again, were just wanting to know who we are, why we were there, what we were trying to do, because we were so clearly not from here. It was so obvious that we were not from here, and that we wouldn't be participating in such a barter or marketplace, right? So that's all. I think, you know, it was just they wanted to do a little bit of an audit and gather information, and I helped to do that again to help bring down the boundaries and or what was the term you said? Bring down their walls. Guards. Excuse me. Yeah, that's all it was. Just to reassure them that there wasn't a nefarious motive or anything of the sort. And you do that with a big smile, and you make eye contact to, again, make everyone feel comfortable. And that's really all it was. And then the tour continued. And we went and saw where they do the documents and all that kind of stuff. And we saw where they exchanged pigs for, I don't know, whatever they exchanged pigs for, and a bunch of other things. And again, we were garnering more attention. And, you know, some people were asking for photos, others wanted money because we, again, stood out so much. But for the most part, people were friendly, very friendly. A couple people didn't crack a smile, but, you know, they probably just, again, were wondering why we were there. It was a very small market at the end of the day, and I don't think a lot of people know about it. I wouldn't even expect a lot of people in Kigali necessarily to know about it, you know, because it's just two groups of people that are pretty much at the border that come together and do business. Yeah.
And okay, so we left, and what else?
But you guys got an exclusive because I don't think a lot of people know, and that's why I said to Jones, I think we should take advantage of this.
Yeah.
This opportunity. It felt like an opportunity that we couldn't miss. We've not seen any vlogs on it, so it felt like we were sort of meant to go over there.
Yeah. I'm just gonna say this. I've seen a lot of vlogs of Americans going to Africa, and the first thing Black Americans say is everybody stares at you. And why are they staring? And they're staring. And so for us in the States, when somebody stares at you, it's antagonistic to people. But I don't feel that way. I don't feel that way because people stare at you because you look different. I think it's just a human thing to do. And I don't see, that's the thing. Like some people get unnerved with staring. I just think of it like this. If I seen somebody who looks different come to my neighborhood, I'm gonna stare at them too. But it's like, I just don't see it as antagonistic. And I think like, even if it is, oh well, ain't nothing we can do about it. You know, we go in there, they can stare all they want to. They talk, if not talk, they smile, they don't smile. I'm going in there, see what I can see. This guy brought us there. He said it was cool. And, you know, we walked around. It was a market. We had fun, cracked jokes with a couple of people. And, you know, at the end of the day, it was just experience something that, you know, you don't see. Because that type of thing stops a lot of Black people from going anywhere. Because they're so like worried about what people think, or if somebody's gonna like want to fight them or want to do something. Like, we gotta stop thinking that way. Like, white people go anywhere they want to go. If they're curious about something, they're gonna go, and nobody's gonna do nothing to them. And they don't give a if you staring or not. They still gonna go. So the whole thing is like, if you can unnerve them, or if you have a second, if you have like something to disarm people, then do that thing. And if that works, and it makes you feel better about the situation, then it shouldn't, like, all I'm saying is that should not stop you from going and experiencing things, because anywhere you're gonna go, if you're not from that place, people are gonna know. So still go. Anyway, if you're a talkative person, if you go up to people, if you're a kind of person to go up to people and can talk to them, or just like a curious person, or or if you to yourself, just be yourself. That's the only thing you can be, unless somebody comes up and talks to you, or they ask you, clearly, what you're doing. But the thing is we had a guide with us, so that's another reason I didn't feel like anything or whatever. And it's good to, like, if you, a lot of times we go places without guidance. We just go and we see what's up, and we just experience what we experience. But it's a whole different experience when you have a guide, so you can talk to them. They can tell you the do's and don'ts, what to do, what not to do. So it was a good experience at the end of the day. This guy came up to me and he was like, you guys are journalists? And I'm like, no, we just regular people. And he was like, do you have permission to film? It's like, how do you know I'm filming? I just got my camera, but I'm not pointing around. I'm not doing this. And so he said, So he ain't really had nothing to say. So it's like, you have permission. I was like, I'm not a journalist. I'm just a regular person. I'm a tourist. And so he was kind of like, okay, I ain't getting nowhere with this guy. So I don't know what he really wanted or if he was just curious. So, and that happened to us in Eritrea, to be frank with you. But that's a whole different story. So other than that, there was a lot of noise from the animals, especially from the pigs who were being sold and transported. And it was kind of unnerving. It was kind of nerve-wracking, but at the same time, it was so much pandemonium that it was almost, for me, it was like white noise. It kind of like, I can tune stuff out and just kind of go on about my business. My whole thing is, as long as you don't touch me, we fine. You can, whatever as long as you don't touch me, then it's good. So I would say still go if you have a chance to go. When you hire Hodari and he takes you on his tour, just have an open mind and just go and just experience it. And then you'll be glad, like you say, you'll be glad that you did it. So after that, we got back on the boat, and when we were leaving, they waved, so they was cool. Yeah. They waved us off, and we waved them back.
Yeah.
And it was all good.
It was all good, and also maybe, and again, I think probably my parents, taught me this in my youth, but I always feel like when you walk into someone's home, you are the one to greet first, to say hello, right? So to me, we were walking into their space, and that's another reason too why I think it's possibly a good idea to initiate, and again, show warmth in some way. It's also, to me, from how I've been raised, a sign of respect, because they're already looking at you, so they're trying to gather some information. So
yeah. So we got back to the meeting spot because we had to meet Augustine to go back home. But did we check out, or did we check out before?
We checked out in the morning, but the hotel held our bags because we had Augustine meeting us there so that we could go to our next excursion.
Yeah, which was the coffee farm. But we had a little hiccup because the Augustine's truck wasn't working or something. So we got a new driver, and his name was
Tail.
Tail was cool. So he took us to the coffee farm, and then Augustine got out, and we said our goodbyes because he was done. He had to go back home. So, and we had a little communication problem. Like, I know I said, like, it's not hard, but some things are pretty not really easy to communicate, especially like when you got contractors working for the company that you hired. So you're thinking like you're doing everything through the company, and then you find out, well, this company hired this person to do that, and this person, like, it's cooperative. But we squared that away, and then so anyway, we drove to the coffee farm. We started that tour, and that tour was amazing. Like, the guy, what was his name? Moses was so like passionate about coffee and the whole process, and in particular Rwandan coffee making and selling and producing. And that tour, like, he took us from A to Z, like the whole process from the beginning to end. And man, we must have stayed at the coffee farm for like about an hour, 2 hours. It seemed long.
It was meant to be an hour, and we had just gone over an hour and a half by the time we said, we probably need to get going, because we wanted to get back to Kigali at a decent hour.
Yeah.
So it was an hour and a half. And to be honest with you all, it helped that the skies opened and it was torrential downpour. It kind of helped to because we actually didn't get to the portion where we sampled the coffee. So he was generous enough to send us home with some coffee. So we'll do a little review of the coffee once we get home. Yeah, we didn't get to do a cupping is what it's called at the farm. And we didn't get a chance to actually walk over to the drying beds, but he explained the process to us. The rain kind of made it impossible to walk over there and get more into the details of what it's like.
Yeah.
But he covered it anyways. So yeah. So we've got coffee. We're excited about that. We left. By the time it was said and done, truthfully, it was close to 3. So
Yeah, we was running out of time, and
we had like a 3-4 hour drive back. So
yeah, so I wanted to get back to the hotel at least by 5, and it was a different route going back because we came from so it was west going back east, going back to the hotel. And it was a good ride back. It took about 3 hours, right?
Yeah, it took actually because there was, the roads were a bit, they were still being constructed. This particular route, the roads were not fully finished yet. It actually took us about 4 hours because we got here just after 6:30. So it was a long drive back. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
Hence why we might look a little tired.
Yeah.
It's been a full 2 days of activities, plus on the day prior to that it was a full day of travel.
Yeah, but I got to really know Teo, and he's really cool, young man, and
he's taken, unfortunately.
Yeah. Yeah, he's taken, but he's a cool guy. So when you come here again, now you got a driver. We're gonna give you his information, and everybody we have worked with, we're vetting them right now. So they're vetted, so they are good contacts and good people to get you around where you need to go, and you won't get cheated. You won't, nothing's bad gonna happen to you because the culture here is everybody follows the rules. Nobody's gonna make Rwanda look bad. Put it that way. And we came to the hotel and we had we're kind of hungry, so we went down to the one of the restaurants. Well, we went to all 3. I kind of wanted pizza, and then I kind of wanted fish. I don't know what I wanted, so we ended up settling on one of the restaurants that had a buffet, and it was spectacular. The restaurant, one of the restaurants in the hotel is really great. Customer service, food was good, 10 out of 10. Noticed a few things, and there's also a club, like a lounge, I would say, that's here, and it seems to be jumping on Friday nights. So for you young single men or old single men or middle-aged single men, y'all coming out to Rwanda, y'all gotta check out the lounge at the 4 Point Sheraton on Friday nights. Got a lot of young ladies in there. They look like they're ready to mingle. That's all I could say.
They look like they're ready to love.
Ready to meet somebody and love. Yeah.
To love.
Yeah, so I can't give y'all any visuals, but take it from me as a man who was once single. If I was single, I would just, check it out. You get what I mean? So it would not disappoint you. And y'all know what I'm talking about. All good. All right, so that is it for the recap of day 8.
7 and 8?
We already closed the other one. So this one is day 8.
Oh, right.
That is the recap for day 8. Thank y'all for listening. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the videos. And hit that bell so you always see when our stuff is uploading. And with that, we're gonna see y'all tomorrow for day 9 recap. All right.
On that note, get free, stay free.
And stay decent like these guys in the club. Peace. I'm out. Bye.